When disaster struck Wyoming County, first responders, dispatchers, and everyday citizens sprang into action, proving once again that in times of crisis, this community comes together. Newswatch reporter Dan Delenti spoke to those on the front lines to hear how they managed the chaos and saved lives.
Saturday night of the flood started off like a normal shift. Wasn't busy until everything came in at once.
That all-at-once moment was the start of a night Wyoming County won't soon forget. Heavy rains quickly turned into flash flooding, and emergency teams were suddenly in a race to save lives.
We actually had a pre-planning meeting the day before, which was Valentine's Day, and I had all first responders within the county, law enforcement, fire, EMS, Department of Natural Resources, Swiftwater Rescue. We had everyone, West Virginia Department of Highways. They all came together.
With water rising across the county, the calls started pouring in. Emergency dispatchers found themselves at the center of the storm, working around the clock to connect rescuers to people in danger.
It was a tireless amount of effort. I mean, I came in at 3 p.m. on Saturday, and I didn't leave until 7 a.m. on Sunday.
With entire roads washed out, rescuers had to get creative, from state police using kayaks to off-duty deputies walking into flooded neighborhoods. Every available resource was deployed to reach stranded residents.
We had state police in kayaks, we had deputy sheriffs in kayaks, rescuing people, trying to get to people. We had Swiftwater team from the Department of Natural Resources and one out of Ripley, West Virginia, that came down. It was a team effort with everyone involved, and if we had to do it over again, we'll do that in the future.
But it wasn't just first responders. Wyoming County residents refused to sit idle, grabbing their own boats and working alongside emergency teams to help their neighbors.
There was a lot of people that we couldn't get to that people in the community was helping out on kayaks, trying to get to people and get them out of their houses that had water in them.
And the local help has not stopped. Even now, nearly 4 weeks later.
All of the debris in the county was picked up by Wyoming County solid waste people. Those guys, the most we had at one time were 5 people. We had 2 trucks, to the exception of 3 days. We had 3 trucks on the road. They picked up all the debris in the county from the residents who had damage from the flooding. And my hat's off to those. Those guys worked 12, 14, 16-hour days, the same as I did, and never complained the first time.
Back at 911 headquarters, dispatchers worked a grueling night, staying calm under pressure, reassuring callers, and working hours on end to make sure help arrived.
So our shifts are usually from 3 to 11 on evening shift. I think I finally stopped about 3 and went and slept for a few hours and continued working the next day. So I was here probably almost 24. I was here 24 hours, but I think I was working probably 16 of those hours.
And while they were answering those phones, the teamwork was something they'll never forget.
It meant a lot seeing local citizens risking their lives to help other people, like elderly people, medical people that has problems, and families with small kids with water in their houses.
And for those within Wyoming County, it's just what they do.
It's Wyoming County way. It's neighbors helping neighbors, it's friends helping friends, it's relatives helping relatives, and it's just the Wyoming County way. We pull together in need.
And it is exactly this Wyoming County way which prevented any lives from being lost in the Valentine's weekend flooding. In Wyoming County, I'm Danny Delante for Newswatch.